out of all the concepts in marketing, and this is a big claim, but I really think this is true. Out of all the concepts in marketing, the most interesting concept to me is the idea that charging more almost always increases the quality of customer that you have and lowers the return rates, even if the product is lower quality. I want to write that down because that's something that is kind of hard to understand, like the way. But so, like, if you increase the price, and then I'll explain it, of a product or service, it almost always increases the quality of the customer, lowers the returns of the product, and creates a perception that the product and service is high quality, even if it's not. And the psychology of this is so strong that a person can take an $100 product, not modify it at all, charge $500 for it, and it's the same thing. This is a really crazy concept in marketing. Typically, and it's one of those things that is only really self-evident by like just pushing thousands of products, because I did not believe this before I actually did it in business. This is a really, really crazy concept. If right now, my consulting is $500 an hour, right? And I genuinely think that it's worth it, but I also think that I could charge $999 for it, or like $1,000 an hour. And I think I would be overpriced, but I wouldn't lose any customers. Pretty convinced of that. And like what's interesting is like when you would think that like if you offer a product for like $5 to $10, for whatever reason, like the perception is that it's a cheap product, and so it just doesn't. A good example of this in the wild, let's take a company like Supreme, right? Where they literally make a hat with a logo on it, and it's like $500, right? You're not paying for like I don't think like the quality of it is made of like the ass of like Shelob the spider silk that like crafts the hat and has like +5 to like stamina and charisma and is like enchanted by like a Buddhist monk from like Dharmasala, India. Like, I don't think that's the case. I think they're basically just like, they're basically whatever. They might be slightly higher quality, but you're paying for like the exclusivity, the story, and the brand. And it's like the very price of the thing is the thing. Right? That's what's actually like really crazy. Like, programming freelancer who charged too little couldn't get clients. They doubled their rates and people came out of the woodwork in order to work with them. Yeah, exactly. Really good article on Patrick. Oh, this is Ramit Sethi. I will 100% listen to this. I listen to a lot of Ramit Sethi shit. Yeah, in a lot of weird ways, Ramit Sethi is a perfect... Yeah, Ramit has happier customers at $12,000 than he had at $5. In a lot of ways, like when a customer feels like they're buying something for a premium rate, listen to this. This is so interesting. So for people that don't know Ramit Sethi, he's one of the best marketers of all time. He has a website called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And this website alone has made millions and millions of dollars. He's an unbelievable copywriter, maybe one of the best copywriters alive, certainly one of the best copywriters alive, but maybe like the top 10 best copywriters alive. And he has a huge list of products that are mostly self-development products and like are all have 100% money back guarantees and are super good. And like he'll say this, right? When I started my consulting career, I charged approximately $20 an hour. I now rarely do consulting. I turn down the vast majority of clients, but when I do, I charge $3,000 an hour. And his customers are absolutely happier to pay this than they would be to pay the $5. So interesting how this works. A lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to, I talk to them and I realize that their number one problem is they're not charging enough for their services. This is something that I talk to a lot of people about. They'll tell me like, oh yeah, I do graphics design or bookkeeping or something like that. I'm like, oh, like how much do you charge? And I'm like $20. They're like $20 an hour. And I'm like, dude, you should easily be charging $100, $200 an hour for that. And like your amount of clients would be the same, but they don't have the self-confidence in themselves to do it. This is a conversation I've had with a lot of people, and I've seen this problem a bunch of times. It's really crazy. Is there any downside to that concept? Well, yeah, if somebody actually makes a shit product and then scams people out of money, like Star Citizen, for example. Actually, Star Citizen is the perfect example of this concept. Literally paying $30,000 for a ship, right? That basically gives you nothing, but the perception of the quality and exclusivity is what sells it. Full circle, baby. Let's go. When you talk with them, do they increase it afterwards? Unfortunately not, Ace. Almost never. They don't really. I wish they did. Crazy shit, man.
Walk, little walk, small talk, big thoughts. Gonna tell them all just what I want. That street, 2 streets, I see you and me hanging on the empty swings.